Yo, what is up, my bubbly boys? Back here in our video. As per usual, I hope you guys have an amazing day. Today is going to be a very special video because since I am updating my live Twin Fiendsmith deck profile, but with the new inclusion of the newly unbanned Fiendsmith Lacrima. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you an updated deck list on my personal live Twin Fiendsmith deck. With the inclusion of Lacrima, I'm going to be going over the changes and be showing you guys how this deck really changes with the inclusion of Lacrima. So overall, this deck really got a boost from the new ban list. We got to cut Moon from that deck finally. But cutting Moon, like getting a Moon banned, didn't really affect the deck at all. It just really gave us more space to play different cards instead. So I opted to play Typhon. And we also got Lacrima back, so this is a really nice replacement for the Duke of Demise. So now we don't have to run Duke of Demise no more, since Fiendsmith Lacrima is basically a way better Duke of Demise. I'm gonna be showing you guys why in a bit, right? And yeah, so before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And let's hop right into it. So in terms of changing the deck, right? The deck hasn't really changed much. The end board is still the same for the most part, but the basically what has really changed for the deck and the inclusion of Lacrima, what it gives us is that it changes how we get to that end board and makes a lot of the combos a little bit more better and resilient to hand traps, right? Because there was some choke points in the deck that really hurt the deck and just made it sometimes unable to get into like something like Caesar. But now even if we get something like Ashed on Requiem, we still get to Caesar, which I'll be showing you guys that in a very little bit, right? So let's go on to deck list real quick, and I'll be showing you guys some combos and how Fiendsmith Lacrima really helps the deck, right? So for our starters, we're running 3 Key Skill, 3 Key Skill Frost, 1 Lila, and then 3 Sunny Stitch. These are all our live twin starters, Key Skill obviously being the best one, Key Skill Frost being the second one, since these are both insulated by hand traps, so if they imperm this or whatever, you're good to go. And because you can still extend by going into deal, like it doesn't really do anything at all. And then after that, Lila, we have 1 Lila, basically just for the name in the deck. It's also a starter, but just not your preferred starter. If you end up having this as a starter, most of the time you're either going to draw a Frost, a Snitch, or maybe one of the Fiendsmith cards, because you're running 5 here, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you're running 12 cards in total to be able to either extend through your opponent's hand trap. Well, saying doesn't really count because you don't have Life Fiend on board, but basically you just really have like a lot of ways to extend if they happen to interrupt it, right? So you're either to negate that interruption or to just play through it like if nothing happened, right? So next you have the 1 Lila Suite. This is one of the bricks of the deck. It is our engine requirement. Never run more though. I really don't think that you need to run multiples. You just really don't want to draw this at all. It's not a starter. It doesn't really extend at all. So and it's constantly reusable in the graveyard, so you just really only need 1. And I cannot stress this enough, never run multiple than these, all right? And then after that, you have for the Fiendsmith stuff. So for Fiendsmith stuff, we're running 1 Lacrima and then 3 engravers. I still think this is pretty standard. You really need your engravers, and then you're also running 1 Tract, 1 Sanct. I also tried running Sanct. I ran the 2 spells here. Reason being is that, like, let's say if you open up Tract and then Engraver, you go Engraver first, search the Sanct. If they draw you, it's fine, because then you activate Sanct and you're good to go. But it just really gives you a variety and helps you push through boards a little bit better, right? And having like that second spell is really nice, especially leading off with your Fiendsmith engine first. It helps you play around hand traps like the K9 Azuna, Phimena, and like Nibiru and stuff like that. So anything that really special summons itself to your side of the board is really nice to have to start with the Fiendsmith stuff, because then you can set up an Caesar early without committing your live swings to the board just yet, right? So yeah, we're running 1 Lacrima, of course, engine requirement. And then after I'm running the 1 of each, just because I really like the 1 of each. I really like 2 Tracts. I've been really liking 1 of each. It plays through boards a lot better too. So yeah, and then we're having the 1 Lurie and then the 1 Paradise, okay? So this is a total of a 19 card engine and a total of 17 starters, I believe, right? Since you have 1, 2, 3 bricks, everything else is starters. So my bad, it's not 17 starters. I believe it's 14 if I... Okay, my bad. 16 starters, 16 one-card starters. I cannot do math, okay? So 16 one-card starters, so the deck is really, really consistent. And going second, you have stuff like full loss to draw you into engine anyways. So you're pretty good going second, and going first is most of the time you're going to be drawing a starter or 1 or 2 starters, right? And yeah, so now that we are done with the engine, this is the main engine of the deck. You could cut like a Sanct to just cut it down if you want to run more hand traps in the deck. But overall, this is the main almost bare minimum of the engine that you need. The only thing that you can really cut is just the one Sanct. That's it. That's the most you could cut, or maybe another engraver. But overall, that is the most you could cut. Okay. Next for hand traps, this is pretty just generic hand traps here. This is subject to change based on how the format just basically evolves to be, but this is why it's just put down for now. You have 3 full loss, 3 ash, 3 Veiler, 3 imperm, so this is pretty self-explanatory. 3 droll, just because the deck really loses hard to full loss, so you really need the ash and droll here in the main deck. That's basically mandatory. And basically now we're running 2 Bell and 2 Nibiru. Only reason I'm running 2 Nibiru now is just because I'm expecting Draco Tail to be going up a lot more in popularity, and they don't lose to Nib at all. Same thing with Mitsurugi. So Mitsurugi and Draco Tail don't lose to Nibiru at all, so I expect that a lot to be in new meta. So basically that's why I'm running these 2 for now. Post Doom of the Dimensions, this is probably subject to change, but for now this is what I'm doing here. And next after that, you also have the 2 Ogres, okay? So that's it for the main deck. It's a 40 card clean main deck. Let's go on to the extra deck here. We have 1 Keyskill Dio, 1 Keyskill, 1 Lilla, 1 Trouble Sunny. This is all standard here. 1 Requiem, 1 Sequence, 1 Agden Day. The newly released Fiendsmith Lacrima, you gotta love it. 1 Fiendsmith Desiree, 1 Necroquip, 1 Abaoku the Lightless Shadow, 1 SP Low Knight, 1 Muckraker. Muckraker is absolutely insane in this deck. I really like having it in here. This is honestly not cuttable at all. It's really insane. Be able to summon back anything from your grave is so much value. Even though you're discarding a card, it's still fine. And it also gives you some nice protection too. So if your opponent happens to go right decky you or something like that, try to attempt to board wipe you with like Lightning Storm and stuff like that, you can protect all your fiends with Muckraker, which is really nice. You also have DDD Wave Hacking Caesar and Typhon. This is basically a flex spot. This could be anything. I've also been seeing people trying to run Rextremende in the deck, because now Rextremende is going to be a lot more easier to make now that Lacrima has come back to 1. I'm going to be showing you guys why I don't think Rextremende is not good at all in this deck, right? So I just chose to run the Typhon for now, but this could really be anything you want it to be, okay? For a side deck, this could be really anything. I just chose to run this just basically for the new meta, just off of first impressions. But this is also maybe subject to change, basically how depending on how the meta shapes up to be, right? And one thing I do think that you cannot change is the 1 Judgment, 1 anti-spell, just to play around board breakers and stuff like that, since I expect board breakers to be a lot more prevalent this format. Basically due to the fact that Paradise Smasher is now banned, so people are going to be wanting to run a lot more board breaker stuff in the deck and in their decks, right? And then you also have the 2 Thrust into D-Barrier. D-Barrier is auto win into almost into any matchup. Is good against K9, is good against Draco Tail, is good against Yummy, is good against Mitsurugi. Is good against almost every deck in the format. So I really think that this is a mandatory. So just 1 D-Barrier, 2 Thrust, at least to get into your D-Barrier. And also you have the Thrust to get into your talents as well, which is really nice, right? So now that is it for the main deck. Now let's go on to some replays to show you guys how the deck is going to work with the newly released Lacrima. Alrighty, so welcome to combo number 1. This is going to be your 1-card Frost combo. Before, with Frost, you would end on Trouble Sunny, Abaoku, and Desiree, since you didn't really have a way to end on Caesar. But now, with the newly released Lacrima, you can do some pretty different stuff here. So you're going to go into Deal. Deal send a Sweet. And after that, Sweet is going to summon itself. And next we are going to go ahead and go into Requiem. Requiem is then going to summon out our Lacrima. Lacrima is then going to send a Fiendsmith. We're going to link over here into Lilla. Lilla is then going to go and summon out Keyskill. And then after that, actually, we're going to go Keyskill here. Keyskill summon back Lilla. We're going to go into Trouble Sunny. And then after that, Trouble Sunny is going to summon back the 2 twins. And after that, Kisco is going to draw a card. Doesn't really matter what you draw here since you're going to discard it anyways later on. You're going to use the Engraver here to shuffle back Kisco Deal to summon itself. You're going to link into Sequence. Sequence is going to shuffle back the Requiem plus the Lacrima in order to summon out our copy of Fiendsmith Lacrima. Fiendsmith Lacrima summons any life fiend from grave. So we're going to summon back our Engraver. We could overlay into a Caesar. And next go link into an Abaoku, which can discard a card in order to summon any light or dark from our grave. Then Abaoku comes back on end phase, and this is our board here. So you also have 4 other cards in hand since this was a 1-card combo. And you do end on a pretty big board here. So before, Frost was probably one of your worst combos just because of the fact that it would lose to Nibiru as well as it would set up a Desiree instead of a Caesar. More preferably, you would want to set up a Caesar. But now you can with the newly released Lacrima since there's a level 6 that can summon back Engraver, which is also level 6, which is really nice. So it makes the deck, it makes this combo specifically a lot better. But I also want to show you guys another neat thing you could do with Lacrima that could also benefit the deck in the long term, right? So let's go on to combo number 2. Alright, so combo number 2, this is going to be a 1-card combo. This is basically if your Requiem gets ashed, right? So Requiem getting ashed was one of the biggest choke points for the deck. And it really hurt the combos. It would basically take away your whole Caesar or Desiree lineup. So you will only end on Trouble Sunny and Abaoku at the end of your turn, right? So it was really detrimental for the deck. But now we have a way to play through that, and I'll show you guys why right now. So we're going to go into Deal effect. We're going to go ahead and go Sweets. Sweets is going to summon itself. And then we're going to link into Requiem. And then Requiem is actually going to get ashed here. So I'm going to show this here to save Requiem gets ashed. We're going to go into Lila here. Lila summon back Kisco. And after that, we're going to go ahead and link into Kisco. Kisco summon back a Lila. Lila just is going to go ahead and not do anything. We're going to go into Trouble Sunny. Trouble Sunny is going to summon back the 2 twins. Kisco is going to go ahead and draw us a card here. We're going to go ahead and go into Sequence here. Sequence is going to shuffle back the Deal and the Trouble Sunny into our copy of Lacrima. Lacrima summons any life fiend from grave, so we're going to summon back our Evil Twin Kisco. We're then going to link those into an Abaoku. Then after that, we're going to go Requiem. Actually not shuffle back Requiem. We're going to go equip the Requiem to the Lacrima, then send those 2 to summon out Necroquip. We're going to go ahead and go shuffle back to inflict 1200 damage. We're going to go Abaoku, summon back the Lacrima, and then equipped them, overlay them into a Caesar. So now we are able to still set up a Caesar plus an Abaoku. Very strong board here. The only thing that we're missing here is the pop and draw off of the Trouble Sunny, which is still fine. It's not that big of a deal since you still end up on 3 interruptions here, plus whatever you have in your hand. So most of the time you're going to have a lot of hand traps in hand since you're running such a high amount of them. So most of the time you're going to have like 2, 3, maybe 4 hand traps along with the board here. They're not going to be able to play through it. Say I use an Ash, or if they use anything else on here, it's not really going to do anything. So let's say if they just use Ash here, they're going to have a 5-card hand plus the card they already drew. So it's only going to be a 5-card hand. You have 3 disruptions for 3 of those cards, and you have whatever hand traps you have in your hand for the rest of those cards. So it's just basically you're trying to get more disrupts than your opponent has cards in the hand, right? So really nice here, and you do have that here. You do most of the time will have that here, which is really nice here. So you have the Abaoku and the 2 negates off of Caesar. And you have some really nice follow-up too, since Abaoku can go ahead on our opponent's turn, use its effect to discard to summon back to Kisco, and then Kisco can pop a card on board. So not only do we have our Trouble Sunny set up now with the 2 twins, we also have Abaoku to come back on end phase, and then, come back on end phase, yes. And on our standby phase, we could draw a bunch of cards, since we have a bunch of different types engraved, right? So yeah, now let me show you the last and final combo of today's video, which will be showing you guys how Rextremende will work in the deck now. Alright, welcome to the last and final replay. This is going to be the Rextremende combo. As you can see here, this is going to be a 2-card combo, 1 key skill, or basically 1 live tune plus an engraver. I'll be showing you guys why I don't really like this combo, but it's still a possible combo you can do if you choose to do so, right? So you're going to go ahead and go Deal, summon back to Sweet. Then we're going to go Requiem. Requiem is then going to go summon Lacrima. Lacrima is then going to send Engraver. This is basically a lot of rinse and repeat, so I'll be showing you guys this fast replay. I am going to indeed show you guys a really in-depth combo guide soon, because I know a lot of people are going to be wanting to pick up the deck now that it got an upgrade with the ban list. So I'm going to be showing you guys a in-depth combo guide. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to subscribe with the notifications on, so that way you don't miss it. And yeah, so for those of you that already know how the deck works, I'm gonna just fast forward this real quick. This will be an in-depth combo later on in the combo tutorial. So then Trouble Sunny is gonna summon back 2 twins. We're gonna go ahead and draw off of the key skill. Gonna link those 2 in the bow. Use Engraver, summon back Engraver. Link those 2 in the sequence effect. Is gonna shuffle back Lacrima and Requiem. I believe here you're not supposed to summon a shuffle back Lacrima. I mean Requiem. That was my bad. That was my mistake actually. You're supposed to shuffle back Engraver here. So you can see later on that I send back the Requiem and I shuffle back the Engraver instead. So you're supposed to shuffle back the Engraver here, right? So you go Lacrima here. Lacrima summons back to Trouble Sunny since it summons any light fiend back from grave. You're gonna go Engravers, add tract, grab the Lurry, discard the Lurry. We're gonna fuse with the graveyard effect of tract into Rextremende here, and you're gonna use the Rextremende to send back the Lacrima. So that way you have the nice Requiem setup in your grave, right? Because here, this is where I send the Requiem. Gonna equip the Requiem to the Lurry, make a Necro equip. Gonna go bow, summon back the Lacrima, and then go ahead and go into Caesar here, right? And then after, you're gonna equip the sequence to the Rextremende, and that's gonna be end board. So you're gonna have the Trouble Sunny with a Rextremende, a bow with the Lightless Shadow, and his DDD way hacking Caesar. Reason why I don't really like this end board: number one, you do end up discarding an extra card in hand, which may not seem like much, but it does make a really big impact. Just to make an unaffected monster that can only be targeted, that can only be targeted by Fiendsmith monsters, but it can be targeted because of a sequence. So basically, it's almost unbeatable unless they attack over it, right? But it's not really providing you with any interruption, right? I would much rather have something like a Desiree to have an extra interruption and more insulated into board breakers as well, right? I mean, sure, this is insulated by board breakers because it's unaffected by all card effects, hello. But really, like, it doesn't really do much for you, right? And it is clogging up your monster zones here, and I'll be showing you why in a bit. So Trouble Sunny, we summon back to 2 twins. Now you can't use the effect of Lacrima and Grave because all your monster zones are clogged up. So I would much rather have a Desiree here instead of the Rextremende. I really don't think Rextremende is needed in the deck, and I really think this is getting overhyped because of the new ban list and stuff like that, right? So yeah, there are some nice applications with Rextremende though, since it sends any light fiend. You could send Amokujaki, which is basically a attribute lock for special summon monsters in your opponent's field, which I could show you guys that combo on the combo guide coming out soon. But right now, I honestly don't think it's really necessary, right? I think it's just basically a win more card, but it's honestly not needed for the deck. I would much rather run something else in the extra deck that is much more needed, right? And yeah, so, and then Rex, of course, prevents the Lacrima effect and Grave since it's clogging up our space, right? And yes, that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Combo guide coming out soon, so turn on the notifications if you haven't already. And comment down below what you would like to see in the near future. Any ideas you have for the deck, and maybe what we should add or take out. I'm all ears for discussions and opinions on how the deck should work. And yeah, so that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.